Hi, I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm excited to share another captivating story with you. The name of this beautiful story is The Two Arrows. Before we dive into the story, I request you all to kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future tales like this one. So without further ado, let's begin the story. High in the silent mountains, where clouds moved slowly across the sky and bamboo leaves danced gently in the wind, there lived a wise Zen master who often taught his students beside a quiet river. Every morning, the students would sit near him in silence, listening to the sound of water flowing over smooth stones. The master believed that a calm mind could learn even from the river. One evening, as the sky turned soft orange, a young student came to the master with a troubled face. The student sat down quietly, but his hands trembled. The master looked at him kindly. "What troubles you?" he asked softly. The student lowered his head. "Master, I feel tired all the time. Small problems stay in my mind for days. When someone says something hurtful, I keep thinking about it again and again. Even after the moment passes, the pain stays inside me." The master listened carefully, and because of that, the student continued, "My mind never feels peaceful." The master nodded slowly. Then he stood up and said, "Come walk with me." They followed a narrow path through the bamboo forest until they reached an old wooden fence near the riverbank. Hanging on the fence were two arrows. The student looked confused. The master gently picked up the first arrow. "If this arrow strikes your arm," he said, "it will hurt." The student nodded. Then the master picked up the second arrow. "But if, after being struck, you fill your mind with anger, fear, and endless thoughts, it is like striking yourself again with this second arrow." The student became quiet. The master placed both arrows on the ground. "The first arrow is the pain life gives you," he said softly. "Nobody can completely escape it." The river flowed quietly beside them. "But the second arrow," the master continued, "is the suffering you create inside your own mind." The student looked down at the arrows. He thought about all the moments he kept replaying in his head. A harsh word from a friend, a mistake he made weeks ago, the fear of not being good enough. Each thought returned again and again, like an echo that never stopped. "Master," he asked quietly, "are you saying that I am hurting myself?" The master smiled gently. "Not on purpose," he said. "Most people do not even see the second arrow." The evening wind moved softly through the trees. The master sat down near the river and motioned for the student to sit beside him. "Listen to the water," he said. The student closed his eyes. For a few moments, there was only the sound of the river flowing calmly over stone. "The river does not hold yesterday's rain," the master said softly. "It lets the water pass." The student listened carefully. "But your mind," the master continued, "keeps holding pain long after the moment has ended." The student felt something shift inside him. He remembered how one small moment could ruin his whole day because he kept feeding it with thoughts. One worry became 10 worries. One mistake became endless shame. One painful memory became a heavy weight, and slowly he understood. The first arrow was unavoidable. But the second arrow, he kept throwing himself. The student took a slow breath. "So how do I stop?" he asked. The master pointed to the river. "When a leaf falls into the water, the river does not fight it. It simply keeps flowing." The student watched a small leaf drifting gently downstream. "You cannot stop painful moments from coming," the master said, "but you can stop building a home for them inside your mind." The student's shoulders slowly relaxed. For the first time in many days, his thoughts felt quieter. The master looked at him kindly. "When sadness comes," he said, "notice it. When anger comes, notice it. But do not hold it too tightly." The student nodded slowly. The sky was becoming darker now, and the first stars began to appear above the mountains. As they sat beside the river, the student noticed something simple. The pain inside him had not completely disappeared, but he was no longer fighting it. And because he stopped fighting, it began to soften. The master closed his eyes peacefully. "Life will sometimes wound the body and the heart," he said gently. But peace begins when the mind stops adding more pain to what already exists. The student looked again at the flowing river. This time, he understood why the master loved sitting beside it. The river moved forward without clinging to anything, and maybe the mind could learn to do the same. From that evening onward, whenever painful thoughts returned, the student remembered the 2 arrows, and slowly, little by little, he stopped reaching for the second one, because he finally understood that suffering grows not only from pain itself, but from the stories we continue to build around it. And when the mind learns to let those stories pass quietly, like leaves drifting down a river, a deep calm begins to appear beneath all the noise. If you think about this story carefully, you may notice how true it feels even in modern life. Today, many people carry second arrows without realizing it. Someone ignores a message, and the mind keeps replaying it for hours. One mistake happens, and the mind turns it into shame. A small moment of embarrassment becomes endless overthinking before sleep. The first arrow may only last a moment, but the second arrow can stay for weeks, months, even years. Now take a slow breath in and gently breathe out. Notice how your body feels right now. You do not need to push away every painful thought. You only need to stop feeding it. That is what the master wanted the student to understand. Pain is natural, but suffering grows when the mind keeps holding the pain tightly and repeating it again and again. The river in the story teaches something beautiful. It keeps moving. It does not stop for every leaf. And your mind can learn this too. When stress comes, notice it. When anxiety comes, breathe with it. When sadness appears, allow it to pass through gently. You do not need to fight every feeling, and you do not need to become trapped inside every thought. Now take another slow breath. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw relax. And for this moment, allow your mind to rest like quiet water beneath the evening sky. Because sometimes healing begins the moment we stop picking up the second arrow. Hoping that you enjoyed this story and learned something good from it. Until we meet again, take care and stay safe.